Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Spikes back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or if you'd like to donate to my ministry and the charities that I support, you can do so at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. This one here is about the United Nations Watch. Reports accuses United Nations officials of advancing Chinese, Russian and Qatari interests. UN officials tasked with promoting global human rights allegedly receiving funding from China, Russia and Qatar in exchange for advancing the interests of those governments, according to a new report by the watchdog organisation United Nations Watch. The report focuses on the United Nations Human Rights Council Special Procedures System, whose independent rapporteurs and experts are officially expected to operate with impartiality as they investigate human rights abuses worldwide. Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan once described the Special Procedures Mechanism as the crown jewel of the United Nations human rights system. According to the report, however, undisclosed or improper funding from authoritarian states has contributed to the system's politicization and undermined its credibility. The Human Rights Council currently employs 59 special procedures mandates, including 46 thematic experts and 13 country-specific mandates. Although the officials do not receive formal UN salaries, they are provided funding for staff, training and international travel, while also receiving access to influential United Nations platforms, reports and media exposure. United Nations Watch noted that the reports issued by the special procedures have a weighty doctrinal authority, citing the European Centre for Law and Justice, and are very often referenced by national and international bodies, in particular by courts. The reports can influence the positions taken by International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court, governments, and major international media outlets. The report argues that the alleged bias is especially visible in United Nations positions concerning Israel and the broader Middle East conflict. One of the most controversial UN officials cited the report in Francesca Albanese's UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights situation in the Palestinian territories. Albanese has faced repeated accusations of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias over past comments and public statements. Albanese recently drew backlash after accusing Jews of being arrogant and using Germany to stop supporting Israel due to the Holocaust. In February, she described Israel as a common enemy of humanity in Qatar, invoking which critics called a classic anti-Semitic trope. European, US, and Israeli officials have condemned Albanese and demanded her resignation. The article also argues that the United Nations disproportionately targets Israel compared to other nations. The UN passes more resolutions condemning Israel each year than resolutions against all other countries combined, while rarely criticising authoritarian governments such as China, Russia, Qatar, or Iran, according to the report. Last month, the United Nations faced backlash after nominating China and Iran to key human rights positions within the organisation. United Nations Watch Executive Director Hillel Muir condemned the appointments, appointing China, Cuba, and Saudi Arabia to oversee the work of human rights activists is like putting Al Capone in charge of fighting organised crime, Muir stated. It's truly indefensible and puts lives at risk, he warned. The report concludes that the UN Special Procedures System is increasingly undermining.
From Jen. Gareth, I've ordered stuff from Iceland. Can Janine throw it in the fridge? The
It's
number is 37.
it's one its own mandate by empowering supposed impartial experts who advance politicized narratives, disproportionately target democratic states such as Israel, and overlook systematic abuses committed by authoritarian governments that help fund them. It also warns that insufficient transparency and accountability have further damaged the credibility of the United Nations human rights system. This is true. The United Nations, which I call the useless nothings, has no has absolutely no call to target Israel more than it targets North Korea, Iran, or China. But it does it because it's politically feasible and it benefits them. It gets more money in from the donors, and the backhanders go to the rapporteurs. And Francesca Albanese has been my scumbag of the week many times. And again, Francesca Albanese, you are my scumbag of the week. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah. Along with the United Nations, by the way.